Welcome, everybody, this Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, to Science and Kirk presents a sports maven here on 1300 AM The Bet, bringing my good buddy Carl Science. And Carl, there's only one word to describe our football fates last weekend, and I would say disaster. All right. For Maryland losing a 20 to nothing lead, but they played great for three quarters. I mean, you texted me after three quarters saying, I love this team.
I do. I did. I know. Oh, they fell apart.
It was painful. That's the
Yeah.
only way to put it. So, that being said, it got worse on Sunday because that was the worst, I think, the worst Ravens game ever. I put it on a parallel with the England game against Jacksonville. Go ahead.
I put it on parallel back in 2000. I had to look it up to remember. It was 2007. Peyton Manning came into town with the Colts on a Monday night. And at the end of the first quarter, it was 28 nothing. And there was a massive rainstorm. That was as miserable as it can get.
You know that I don't remember that.
Until
I
Sunday.
believe you.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah, look it up. Until Sunday. Well, it was before Harbaugh.
Right,
It was
right.
probably Billick's
One of his last
final,
years.
final nail. Yeah, it was his last year.
So, Carl, to go into the problems of the Ravens and to go into who's playing and who's not, we don't know the truth. It looks like Ronnie Stanley and Kyle Hamilton are going to play. Uh, the receivers are all in line. I don't think anybody's hurt. The offensive line will be there, but let's assess Cooper Rush.
You
What do
know.
you think of how he played?
Well, I think if Cooper Rush is going to have any success, you better run the damn ball, and you better have some success running the damn
Yeah, I
ball.
mean, they gave the ball to Derrick Henry, and it's not working. I mean, it's hard to imagine if Patrick Ricard had to negotiate his contract right now, it'd be for a lot more
Yeah,
because he has been sorely missed. And it's funny, 6 weeks ago they said he was day to day. That's a long day to day in it.
yeah. He would have been on the IR. I think if they had realized, obviously, that this is it. He must have tweaked it at some point in the first couple of weeks because it makes no sense that he's been on the roster and not played for 6 weeks. I mean, obviously, it was a lot worse than I thought it was, and what a huge loss. Clearly, he's been. But you look. I mean, there is some reality we've got to maintain here. There's never been a more talented and active list in the history of the NFL, other than maybe week 16 or 17 when the number one seed's resting all their starters in a game.
Right.
I mean, honestly, there's never been a more talented group of players sidelined for one game than what we just witnessed for the Ravens this week. I mean, that's reality. So, what did we really expect to happen?
Oh, no, no.
You know,
Listen, I,
didn't expect this though. I didn't expect Texans with a terrible, lousy offense. Did they punt once? Or did they
they
not?
not only punt, they scored every time. Every
Right,
time they had the ball, they scored until the backup came in.
right,
I think he got one. But that's not the point. The point is that they that game you couldn't be upset. You can't lose all those
right,
starters in the NFL
right.
or Pro Bowlers even and expect to win. But I don't know. They just were flat. It was dead. It was horrible. I'll give credit to the fans for one thing, Carl, and you have to. I barely heard a boo the entire game.
No,
They
I'm
were
not.
upset,
Yeah.
you know, but we didn't hear, oh, we got to get rid of Harbaugh and we got to, Lamar's not reliable. You didn't hear any of that garbage.
That's
Okay.
funny. That's the one takeaway I had as well. I was really proud. I hope that I hope it maintains it. So, because again, people are realistic. You see who's not playing, and you recognize. I mean, that's just it's an incredible hill to overcome. They're going to have to do it. The good. But look, but was that rock bottom, or
Oh,
is
yeah. You
or
couldn't be
or is,
any worse than that.
or is tomorrow rock bottom? I mean, Matthew
No,
Stafford,
no.
Hall of Fame quarterback Matthew Stafford is having his best start to any season. He's leading the league
Wait
with
a minute.
1,500 passing yards.
Did you use the word Hall of Fame for him?
Stafford, I
Yeah.
am
Oh,
100% I am.
I don't think so. I disagree with that. But look, he's
Yeah.
great. And the last time he was in Baltimore, he torched us. We won
Yep.
the game. We
Yep.
were lucky. he's got these receivers. He's got Devontae Adams and
And
Puka
Nakua.
Nakua, the best name in
Yeah.
football,
Yeah.
and Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
And Puka Nakua, after 5 games, has 52 receptions. You know how crazy that is?
Crazy.
All right, with 528 yards, 582 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Devontae Adams has 22 catches for 357 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Kyron Williams, 82 carries for 368. And Stafford has been his usual great self. And he comes to Baltimore. He loves it here. But you would think, I mean, the Ravens are a heavy underdog with or without Kyle Hamilton, with or without anybody except Lamar. But we've talked about it, and you know that I dwelled on it with you a lot of times that your backup quarterback doesn't have to be as good as your starting quarterback, but he better be good. Okay. And does Cooper Rush fit that category? I don't know. Okay. I really don't. But you see the teams with stronger backups when it happens are more competitive. Now, our problem is such a drop off from Lamar. It really is. And now I'm hearing Huntley's going to play a little, and that doesn't excite me at all.
I mean, to be fair, I can't criticize because I was very supportive of that move. I thought it was a great pickup for
I
the
did
Ravens.
too. I
You
did too.
know,
I'm
um,
not
and I
criticizing,
don't
but
think you lost the game. I don't think it was on him per se. I mean, if you can't stop the other team on any third downs and let them score every time, you better be Lamar Jackson under center. Otherwise, you've got no shot.
but
You
he
would,
can't when you're getting rushed like he was getting rushed and you're not mobile, you're dead. You're finished.
yeah.
And that's basically what had happened. I just at this point, I just don't know, how the Ravens put together a win. The defense is so bad. Forget
Yep.
who's playing. You have
You
to
know,
remember,
we've given in five. Hey, Bruce, in
yeah,
5 games,
yeah.
we've given up more points than the 2000 Ravens gave up all year. By the way,
Well, let me tell you something. 3 games when we were healthy is the way to look at it. You look at it against Detroit, Buffalo, and Kansas City. 41,
yeah,
40, and 37.
yeah,
Anyway, you look at it, the defense has been horrible, you know?
correct,
And, who's missing? Dambi Matabike. He's the
yeah,
key guy.
yeah.
But now they picked up this. Tell me what they love so much about this guy, Gilman
Gilman. I
from
mean,
San Diego.
he's a starting safety, number one, so that gives them some more depth at safety. Number two, Owe. I mean, 10 sacks last year, zero this year. They're saving $8 million on the cap. So does
That's
that
not why they
mean?
made it. That's
Well,
not
no,
why they
but
made it.
but does it mean there's a couple more moves to come? Maybe. I
Oh,
don't.
I think so. I think for sure as the season goes on. Look, if the Ravens lose Sunday, they're 1-5. Okay. And at that point, every game you lose will put an end to the season.
Correct.
Okay. If they lose to the Bears, now we should lose to the Bears, but we're not going to win every game. So, in other words, they're going to have, if they go 1-5, they're basically going to have to win 10 out of 11 games. I don't think this team is built for that,
Right.
especially having it go to Pittsburgh and Green Bay at the end of the year.
Well,
I don't, I don't see it with or without Lamar.
I'm the most optimistic Ravens guy you're going to find. You know, but even I am shocked. Las Vegas still has the Ravens favored to win the AFC North division. I mean, I just think, unfortunately, I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make a huge difference for these Steelers. I mean, I don't see them winning any less than 10 games. And I think they
Well,
might,
you know what?
I think they're going to win 11.
They exult from having an easier schedule than the Ravens. That's just part of winning the division. The Ravens drew, 2 bad games. Houston was a division winner, and look what they did to us, 44-10. But all I can say is this, all right, they got to find a way to win, and now it's on Harbaugh. And I'm not saying, I'm going to be jumping through the roof at him, but great coaches, fantastic coaches, figure out a way to be competitive when you're shorthanded. Now, last week was an aberration. I would never blame that on Harbaugh. And without Lamar, all right, without Lamar, I think this week is too. I don't see a shot of winning.
I don't see it either unless somehow the running game comes back and becomes, the 200-yard machine that it's been. But without Lamar in the backfield, how does that happen? I don't see it happen. And without that, I don't, how do you keep pace with the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford? How do you keep pace with them unless you're holding the ball, unless you control the clock?
100% right.
And how is that possibly going to happen right now? I don't know. That offensive line better eat its Wheaties and just bring it. They got to bring it physically. We've never seen a Ravens team bullied the way we've seen
I
it.
tell you the truth, I almost don't look forward to the game.
I
In other
know.
words, I'm afraid what's going to happen. And now you're talking about out of the first 6 games of the year, 4 of them are going to be at home. And if we lose, we're 1-3 at home.
Yep.
That ain't going to work. All
No.
right. That ain't going to work because when we play Cleveland and Cincinnati, who are also using kind of new quarterbacks, all
Huh.
right. But I tell you what this means, all right. And I don't care who gets upset or whatever. The Ravens have to expend a first round pick on a quarterback. They have to have somebody who can be developed as a replacement, who knows, you know what I mean, who's there for the
Yeah.
long
I mean,
haul.
I there was I forget what team it was. I think it might have been was it the Packers? It was somebody who would maybe it was New England. Somebody would draft a quarterback in the third round almost every year and just develop them. I think it was the Patriots. And to me, I wouldn't use a first round pick, Bruce, but I would start using my third round pick on a quarterback every year until you hit on one as a great backup. Because
Well, I tell you what, if DaCosta could have worked that deal out with Shador Sanders,
yeah,
maybe he doesn't have it. I mean, what's his name won't even call him the third string quarterback, the second string quarterback yet.
yeah.
I read today that he's not up to that position.
Well,
So
who
maybe
is
he
then?
would,
They got rid of Flacco, so who's number
right.
two?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's Bailey Zappi. They brought him back. I don't know.
got it.
But all I can say is this: the Ravens have to cure that problem, that position. So, Carl, uh, much to my chagrin, I can't find a way to pick them this week. All
Me
right,
either. So,
all right,
and when's the last time I didn't pick the Ravens?
never, never,
Ever, honestly.
never.
I mean,
They might be,
I
maybe they're a good cover, but the odds are if they lose, they're going to lose big. And if they put the magic together, which I believe Harbaugh can do, uh, I think it could happen. Let's take a look around at our picks right now, Carl. You are 15 and 13, and I am 14 and 14. I had a good
all
week
right,
last week,
all right,
and I took I had a theory last week that teams that haven't won a game aren't that bad. Right
right.
now, I mean, I don't know who the Ravens can beat
Me
in my
either.
eyes.
Me either. Look, the NFL is funny business. I mean, if you had told me before the year that there would be a week where the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles all lost in the same weekend, I never would have believed it. So,
Right.
so who knows?
Buffalo sure look human. And, look, some teams are surprising. This Drake May has been unbelievable. And they added a guy named Stefan Diggs. And
Yeah,
if you don't think that's a difference, you don't know football. He's
yeah.
been fantastic.
Let's not forget their coach either.
Yeah.
The guy they got, what's his name from Penn,
Vrabel.
Vrabel. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, you got to
All
give
right.
that guy credit. Yeah,
Here we go. Eagles laying 7.5 at the Giants. And the Eagles have looked pedestrian.
yeah.
And I'm going with the New York Football Giants, as Mr. Howard Cosell used to say. Who you
I,
like?
I am as well.
All
The
right.
Giants.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
All right. The Browns 4.5 at Pittsburgh. All right. With I don't know, Dylan Gabriel, I guess, at the helm against Aaron Rodgers. I got to go with the Steelers. How about you?
I'm going with Cleveland's defense. I think they're going to be all over Aaron Rodgers.
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope so. If they're 5-1 and we're 4-1, if they're 4-1 and we're 1-5, I don't think that twain can ever meet.
No, me too.
All right, Seattle. plus 1.5 at Jacksonville. What about that play by Trevor Lawrence? Was that unbelievable
Yes,
when he
it
got
was.
knocked down, got up?
Yeah,
Unreal.
it was. It was a great game. But I'm going with Seattle. I'm going with Coach of the Year, Mike McCarthy.
Mike McDaniel,
Daniel.
right?
Yes.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. Okay. I think that the Jags will have Monday night fatigue. The Bengals 14.5 with Joe Flacco, a
I
quarterback at Green Bay. I take 14.5 all day.
I do too. Joe's going to be back there, man. He's going to be winging it. He's going to be winging it downfield. He must be so excited, honestly.
He's
He
never
must
had
be
two
so
receivers.
excited.
He's never had two receivers like that.
No. And the only thing he's going to be able to do is just throw the ball deep. And he's going to have a ball. They're going to look, it might be some garbage points,
He needs
but they're
he
going to
needs
score some
time
points.
though. Their offensive line has been horrendous.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
needs time. All right, let's go to the 49ers. Getting 2.5 at Tampa. And maybe the MVP right now, Mr. Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Which way
Yeah.
you going?
I'm sticking. Look, the Bucks were my Super Bowl pick before the season, and I'm sticking with them.
All right.
Of course, I
Well,
picked the Ravens also, so so take it with a grain of salt. But
we always take homers,
I
with a
know,
grand,
I know.
myself included. I was even looking at airplane tickets for the Ravens, but
Yeah, I
you could
know.
put that to sleep. Indiana plus 7.5 at Oregon. What a game that's going to be. This is a chance for Indiana to rise to the top, but they got no chance. Oregon is just too good. And
I
I
think
would lay the 7.5 points.
I'm taking Oregon as well.
Well, don't have much competition this week.
That
Uh,
Cleveland game's a big one.
all right, the Red River Shootout. Okay, one of the biggest games usually in college football has been ruined by the failures of Texas. Oklahoma getting 2.5 points. It really is a neutral game against Texas. Who do you like?
I've got to take Oklahoma until we see the kid Manning do anything. I got to pick Oklahoma.
All right, I'm gonna go with Texas on that one.
All
All right,
right.
the last thing I want to talk about before we end this segment, how sad do you feel for the Yankees and the Yankee fans?
Listen, good riddance.
uh,
Good riddance. Good
I
riddance.
tell you what, it's unbelievable the heat that Aaron Boone has to be under. But they asked him yesterday, do you have any fear about being removed? He said, I'm under contract. I'm not going anywhere. So, in other words, he's going to get his money. I don't think they're going to let him go. You can't let a guy go who wins 95 games every year. Okay.
Except when you're the New York Yankees.
Well, of
I
course, the
mean,
Orioles let Brandon Hyde go, but
yeah, I mean, except when you're the New York Yankees and you just are failing year after year. When was the last time they won? 09? It's been a while,
it's been 16 years.
which is for them is a
The
century.
money they spend and everything else, that's like eons, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Uh, Carl, I think Maryland's going to bounce back this week,
Let's
and
go.
I really do. It's going to be a great game. And once again on Sunday, I'll stop by and see you, and we'll commiserate together.
Let's do well.
How long did you last week?
I lasted until the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, I did. I did the first drive. I said maybe there's a miracle drive in us because
Yep.
we got the ball. But have you ever, and I'm not blaming the crowd on this, but the opposite side of the stadium from where we sit, the sun side, it was empty in the second half. I think all those people came over to our side because I heard it felt like it was 110 over there.
Yeah,
That's a rarity,
yeah.
you know?
It's a double misery
Yeah. I mean,
being
it
in the
was
sun and watching that
unbelievable,
game.
but our side of the stadium was packed, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
I thought the fans were great. I
I
really
do.
do. I, I,
I do too. Look, imagine if this was Philadelphia
oh God,
or New York.
no doubt.
The boos they would have heard.
All right, that'll take care of it for today, Carl. Thanks so much. And once again, we'll see what the Ravens do this week. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we're going to take a real close look at the Maryland game with my buddy Mason Viner.